Hello and welcome everybody to this week's episode of Ant on Music. That must mean my name is Ant and this is my music podcast. So if you're new here, thanks for checking out the channel. I hope you dig what I do and I hope you come back week in, week out. Even better, don't forget, if you subscribe, you get the automatic notification that I am here. If you're a recurring viewer, thank you. Thank you very much. As you know, do this week in, week out, whenever I manage to pick up out in my travels as far as music goes. And, you know, a lot of it's new releases and, re-releases, things like that. But as always, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment. Love the comments. And, of course, you could always, give a thumbs up and share it across other platforms. I really do enjoy growing the brand here. It's pretty cool. So what do we got this week? We got a whole bunch of stuff. We do have our first box set of the year. Yay, first big box set of the year. Very thrilled about that. We also got our first new release of the year, as well as a couple of re-releases. And I even got one that goes back all the way. It's almost a year old. An album that I missed out on, and I can't really explain as to why. It's a band I dig. I own just about everything they've ever put out on CD, but I have never ever picked up anything of theirs on vinyl. We're going to show that one to you first. That is Tobias Sammett's Avantasia with Here Be Dragons. And one of my followers suggested this album, said that it was great, and I don't know, I guess I just missed that it was released last year, if that's possible. But it is really great. And if you know anything about Sammett's Avantasia, it is pretty much like this heavy metal summer camp kind of deal. And you get a lot of guest artists on the works of Avantasia. And this is a basic black vinyl. Nothing really to see here. Labels are cool. You got the dragon on there from the front. And for me, the two big names on this one are Michael Kiske from Halloween and Geoffrey Tate, Jeff Tate, formerly of Queensryche, now solo and as part of his own Operation Mindcrime. And Jeff sings the title track on this, and it's really good. It's fantastic. In addition to the album, you get this nice booklet in there. You know, very detailed as far as lyrics and liner notes go. The artwork, as always, with the Avantasia projects are really, really cool. And, you know, there's the main man himself, Mr. Sammett, Tobias right there. And, you know, he's surrounded with his usual cast of characters as far as the band goes. But we start off the album with a song called Creepshow. It's a great way to start. Then I said, Here Be Dragons. Great tune with Jeff on vocals. The Moorlands with Kiske from Halloween. We also get The Witch featuring Tommy Karavik and Phantasmagoria with Ronnie Atkins. Then we also get Bring on the Night featuring Bob Catley, Unleash the Kraken, great tune there. Avalon featuring Adrian Cowan, Against the Wind with Kenny Lecremo on here. Wow, it's early in the morning. Everybody's Here Until the End featuring Roy Khan. Very cool album. If you dig power metal, European power metal, this is the album for you. This is a great way to start. And like I said, it came out last year, and somehow, some way, it escaped me. And then when it was mentioned by one of the followers at the end of last year, I said, when I get a chance, I got to check it out. And, I did, and I'm really thrilled to pick it up. So, moving right along. The next thing we have is Squeeze. And this is one of those Ring in the New Year or one of those releases from Rhino, talking about Squeeze. And I think they're smart to do this, put this one out there, because Squeeze has a new album coming out. Their new album, basic black vinyl. You get 2 slabs of it. And you get 4 bonus tracks, which is cool. You also get this nice booklet. This album is called Play. It was the follow-up to that album right there, Babylon and On. And at this point, Squeeze is Difford and Tilburg, Gilson Lavis, who passed away, rest in peace, and Keith Wilkinson, with additional work from Matt Irving, all right, Steve Niev, and Bruce Hornsby. Yes, Bruce Hornsby of Bruce Hornsby and the Range, but he doesn't play piano. And he was so sought after at this point back in 91. You know, he had a great run with his first couple of albums. He guested on Don Henley's Under the Innocents. He guested on a Bonnie Raitt album. And he was touring with the Grateful Dead and was on a Dead album or two. So, you know, much in demand, Bruce Hornsby for his piano playing. So, of course, Squeeze has him play his secondary instrument, which is accordion. And the booklet you get, quite nice, lyrics and liner notes throughout. I'm one of those people, I love to sit down and read everything while I'm listening. And it's got some good tracks on here. It kicks off with Satisfied, Crying in My Sleep, Letting Go, Day I Get Home, The Truth, House of Love, Cupid's Toy, Gone to the Dogs, Walk a Straight Line, Sunday Street, Wicked and Cruel, and There Is a Voice. And then for the bonus tracks, you get Happiness is King, Laughing in My Sleep, Maidstone, and Mood Swings. And the bonus tracks are quite good. I'm a huge Squeeze fan, have been since I was a kid. And pretty much everything they've done, I've appreciated it. I've been fortunate to see them live a couple of times, seen Glenn Tilbrook live, solo as well, acoustically. Fantastic if you get to see them live. Their new album's coming out in a couple of months, and I can guarantee you I'm going to have it here. I've already pre-ordered it. It's called Trixies. So, you know, going to check that out. But this one is called Play, and it's part of Rhino's re-release campaign of stuff. So, got that one. This is the only colored vinyl that I have for you this week. The only colored one. And here's the hype sticker. Critically acclaimed 1991 album remastered, first time on LP in the US. That's the Squeeze hype sticker. Should have showed that to you first. This has no hype sticker on it. This band gets so much crap, it's ridiculous, and I don't quite understand it. I think Winger's a lot better group of musicians than most. I mean, Kip Winger, you know, he's got the whole thing about him being a pinup, good-looking dude and all that, but he can write a song. And Rhett Beach is a freaking phenomenal guitar player. And this release that I have here, this is Winger 7, right? Excuse me as I take a sip. Keep the pipes oiled. This was a re-release, but it is a re-release through Frontiers, and it's a numbered colored edition. I got a very low edition of it, number 248, so I'm thrilled about that. There's still a couple of their albums out there that I have to get on vinyl. I do have the first three, and you know, I've got to get, there's a couple, I think there's one or two that aren't even available on vinyl yet, so hopefully Frontiers or Music on Vinyl will put them out. So it's a 2-slab edition on red vinyl through Frontiers, and you get it from joining their music club. Now, the good thing about their music club is this. You don't have to join and pay like a yearly fee if you don't want to. They also have it where you can join for a month. You get the album of the month, and you know, it's obviously more cost effective if you buy for the year, but you're tied into something that maybe albums you don't like. For me, I join for the month. If there's something else during the year, I'll pick it up. But based on their past releases, this is the first one I think of 3 or 4 that really worked for me. So this was the first one that I've picked up. And, you know, it's a gate, lyrics, liner notes in there. And this is a pretty solid album from them. You've got Proud Desperado, Heaven's Falling is cool, Tears of Blood, Resurrect Me, Voodoo Fire, Broken Glass, It's Okay, Stick the Knife In and Twist, One Night to Burn, Do or Die, Time Bomb, and it all comes back around. Pretty solid, you know, classic rock at this point sounding hair metal album from the gentleman in Winger. And like I said, this is a re-release, so happy to get it. Didn't have it before. Winger 7. Now, finally getting to our first real new release of the new year. One of my favorite bands. So I've said it before. I get conflicted, but I'm finally being won over. I've been a fan of Big Train, not since the beginning, probably since about 2009 when David Longdon was part of the band. He really brought something out of them that was probably buried deep, and he brought them to wider acclaim. And David passed away a few years back, which left the band searching for a new lead singer. So they brought in Alberto Bravin from PFM, which is one of Italy's premier prog bands. Big Train has their first ever narrative concept album. It's called Woodcut, as you can see there on the hype sticker. And it's a freaking excellent album. It really is. Top to bottom, good stuff. Really happy that when they sent it, you know, packed where the sleeve wouldn't get damaged. Basic black vinyl, you know, as far as the slabs go. Got this nice embossed top here. It's maybe hard to see. Same thing on the bottom. You've got it embossed, and obviously you got the woodcut there. Got your lyrics and liner notes right there. And it starts off with Inkwell Black, goes into The Artist, which is a good tune, The Lie of the Land, Sharpest Blade, Albion Press, Arcadia, The Second Press, Warp and Weft, Chimera, Dead Point, Light Without Heat, Dreams in Black and White, Cut and Run, Hawthorne White, Counting Stars, and Last Stand. And one of the things that I picked up on when I was listening to this album was one of the lyrics was A Flare on the Lens, which was a title of a previous Big Train live album. I think everybody involved on this project just does a friggin' phenomenal job. You know, Greg Spartan's a really great songwriter who I don't think gets enough credit for his songwriting abilities, nor do I think he gets enough credit as a bass player. But, you know, if you've never listened to BBT, the Big Train has pulled back into the station for their newest. Do yourself a favor, give it a listen, pick it up. You know, tell them Anthony sent you. All right, so just get my approval on this one. Really cool to have this in my collection. Still trying to get all the BBT stuff on vinyl. Not easy. You could pay a lung to get a couple of their albums. They're hard to come by, but a little easier now that they're on Inside Out. But the older stuff is tough. Anyhow, that brings us to what we all came here for. All right. And that is this monster, all right? If you look up here, you may be wondering, like, what is that artwork? Well, a few years back, Steven Wilson did, I think it was 5 albums in a box for Yes, the Steven Wilson mixes, and one of them was, this is one of those albums that kind of was one of the first wedges in the fan base, I guess you could say. This is the definitive version of Yes, Tales from Topographic Oceans. And it's very, very cool. You know, it's very cool. Talk about a deep dive. You're really, as far as the material goes, it's incredibly difficult in some ways to get through on first listen. It's, you know, expanded pieces, really, really good stuff. There's only 4 tracks, you know, so basically you're talking about, you know, a track per album side almost, right? So you get, what they did was they released it on a 12-disc set with Blu-ray being there. You get rarities, you get live, and you get the new album, and you also get Steven Wilson's mix on it, which, you know, obviously I already had, but cool to have nonetheless. There's the back, and this thing is jam-packed, 12 discs. Crazy amounts of material, right? You also get this cool booklet, which we'll go through in a second. Let's see. So you get all your discs housed there. You get your Blu-ray right up front. Then you get book after book of discs, 12 of them in all. Pretty awesome. And what do these discs contain, Ant? Well, I'm going to tell you. The disc contains the original album, remastered. Then you get the Steven Wilson mix, which was, they listed as 2026, but it is from a couple of years back. You get the instrumental mixes by Steven Wilson, which is very interesting, very cool, and needs to be heard. Then you get a rarities disc. So this is where you get single edits and things like that. So you get Revealing Science of God, Dance of the Dawn, The Remembering, High the Memory, The Ancient, Giants Under the Sun, and Ritual Nuits Sommes du Soleil twice, and these are all single edits, one except for the last one, which is single edit 1 and single edit 2. You get Veiling Science of God, Dance of the Dawn version 1. Remembering High Memory, the In Progress mix, and the same for the Ancients. Also, you get more In Progress mixes for Revealing Science, the Ancient, and then another pass at In Progress for Revealing Science. Disc 9, more rarities, okay? In Progress versions for Remembering, Ritual, and Revealing Science of God. Disc 10 and 11 are live. One from, on Disc 10, you get 2 tracks live from Free Trade Hall, Manchester, all right? You also get from live at the Capitol Theatre in Cardiff, Wales, The Ancient and Ritual, and then live at, I'm going to try and pronounce this right, Hallenstadion, Zurich, Switzerland. And You and I, and Close to the Edge, and The Revealing Science of God. Disc 12, same concert, The Ancient and Ritual. And then you get the Blu-ray, which has the 2025 Atmos mix, the 5.1 mix, the stereo remix, the stereo remaster, and the instrumental mix. And then on LP, finally, you get the original album remastered. So that's a lot of stuff, a ton of stuff to go through. And they do have a very detailed breakdown of the tracks and obviously what was going on in the band at the time they recorded. You get your lyrics and liner notes. And great essay here about Yes, and like I said, every place where they were, all right? And you know, even Eddie Alford's role in this. So very, very cool. The definitive version of the classic Yes album, Tales from Topographic Oceans. One of the things we're going to get into next go-round is Record Store Day. The list has been out. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. There's a lot of good stuff. One of the things that's in there is a Yes Tales from Topographic Oceans night of tour. I'm going to check it out. You know, if it is, even it's on vinyl, obviously. So even if it's this stuff on vinyl that's, you know, here on disc, I'm most likely going to buy it. There is a ton of good stuff out there. There's a Pink Floyd box set. There is a Bruce Springsteen box set live from the Stone Pony in Asbury Park. Megadeth, Hidden Treasures, first time release on vinyl. A couple of Motorhead releases. One of them on Parole, redone by Steven Wilson. So you know damn well I'm going to try and get that one. But we're going to talk about more of that next time. Thank you for checking out the channel. Really do appreciate you stopping by week in, week out. Although nobody stopped by last week. Go check out last week's episode. It got like 30 views. What the frig, bro? So go check that out. Even if you're not totally enthused with what I'm talking about, it's always good to get a little bit of knowledge. So that's that. Until next time. Peace, one love, music. I'm out.